You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's shameful.
Why would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting the scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial for reasons that completely baffle me.
Can we talk about the quality of girls? So Anushka Georgiou as an example. You know what she did? Like, this is the caliber of person we're talking about. Anushka Georgiou.
Actually, I'm not going to let you smear them. I'm sorry. I'm not.
She was the girl that set up Tom Parker
No, I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
sorry,
she did it. She did that long story.
I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you smear these victims anymore. I'm just not going to let you do it. Just cut her off. Ollie.
Look, I don't say this often, but for once, Piers Morgan was absolutely right. Because when someone goes on national television and starts questioning the quality of underage victims, that's not debate. That's disgrace. That's desperation. And that's exactly what you just watched. Ask yourself something: how far do you have to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole to start blaming children instead of predators? Stick around, because this meltdown only gets worse.
Lady Victoria Harvey, I mean, you've been very steadfast in your support of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, but given what you've now...
That's quite a long name, isn't it?
...been reading... Well, you know, he had all his titles stripped quite rightly, but given what you've now... Right, but given what you've now seen about what he was up to...
So let me just give you an update. Let me just give you an update. So as of within the last 24 hours, the FBI did a statement and they said, with all the information that they have seen, all the millions of files, everything, they have come to a conclusion that this was not a sex trafficking ring.
Well, where's that statement?
Let that sink in. It's all over. I sent the link to your producers this morning. So
no one's been able to find that statement. So you're talking about a statement nobody has seen this statement.
The FBI has said, and I will send it to your people afterwards, that it was not. So exactly what I told you in 2019. I said, Piers, these girls were not trafficked. And that word was too strong a word. Anyway, the FBI have recently said this in the last 24 hours. It was not a sex trafficking operation. Yes.
Well, let me bring Spencer Cooven. Let me bring Spencer Cooven back on that, because you'll know better than anybody.
It's out there, and I will.
Spencer Cooven. Apparently, none of this involves sex trafficking. Spencer Cooven.
There might have been girls that were abused. That is not the wording, but it was not a. It was not a sex trafficking ring.
Ms. Harvey.
So yeah. I just want to get the right information out there, because there's a lot of disinformation.
Well, yeah, and most of it appears to be coming out of your mouth. I think at the end of the day, what we need to remember,
you're making money from this.
We have nearly hundreds of young girls under the age of 18 that were sexually abused and trafficked
because you are making money from this.
By Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Don't forget that we have one woman who's sitting in jail, convicted.
How much money did you make from this?
Convicted of sex trafficking. And at the end of the day, I think the problem we have is that we're giving voice to people like Miss Harvey.
I'm not Miss Harvey, I'm Lady Victoria, actually.
Oh, okay, Miss Harvey. For 20 years, people have been fighting. These young girls have been fighting to be heard, fighting to make sure the world knows what happened to them.
So how much money have you made from this?
And finally, the U.S. government is starting to release the documents that verify what these girls have been saying all along.
The FBI just verified it's not a sex trafficking ring. Okay.
Okay. Is this the same FBI that apparently is hiding additional documents and deleting names that are in those documents?
I don't know,
is it the same FBI that we're talking about?
That's what's happening. So yeah, it's out there. Even ABC News, which is, you know, not always the most reliable.
Victoria, here's what I just find completely baffling. That even with this unbelievable document
they also spoke about Virginia.
Hang on, let me finish.
Virginia lied.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish, please.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Even notwithstanding a 3 million document dump of files, which reveal the most horrific stuff going on with Epstein, with Ghislaine Maxwell, with others, you still just want to pretend there's nothing to see here. Why?
I'm not pretending there's nothing to see here. I'm just stating what the FBI have come to the conclusion it was not a sex trafficking ring.
Well, nobody's seen that.
Which means Ghislaine is in jail for not trafficking to anybody. So she should be released right away.
She was found guilty.
But there were no clients. There was no client list, Piers. You're not understanding it. I like you a lot.
You're not understanding
she
was convicted and sent to prison.
I know, it's very frustrating for people like you, because it's just like the media has built it up into this huge thing. Yes, obviously, Jeffrey Epstein was a spy. Like, that is true. Like, he was working for various different intelligences. We know that. But the fact is, he was not lending out the girls to his friends.
He was.
Really?
We know that he was.
Everybody knows he was.
Sir, I don't know what your name is, the lawyer, but you obviously made a lot of money from this. Can you tell us what you made from this?
Can you tell us what you've done with Mr. Andrew? Can you tell us about your relationship with him and what he's told you?
I haven't seen him
in many years. Why don't you talk to us about what he's admitted to you?
I'm defending him because I know he is not guilty.
And you know this because he told you this?
How do you know
and
that?
He talked to you about it?
I know. I've been very good so far. I was right about COVID. I was right about the vaccines. I was right about BLM. I'm right about this.
Here's what blows my mind. You have court convictions. You have sworn testimony. You have millions of documents. And somehow, the only thing she wants to focus on is an alleged FBI statement that nobody can find. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. This is the pattern. Deny, deflect, distract. When the facts get uncomfortable, pivot to conspiracy. When the victims speak, question their motives. When the evidence piles up, say the media made it up. We've seen this playbook before. And the arrogance, I was right about COVID, I was right about vaccines, I was right about BLM. That's not evidence, that's ego. That's someone so deep in their own narrative that reality becomes optional. And let's be very clear, Maxwell is in prison for trafficking minors. That's not opinion. That's not media spin. That's a verdict. So when someone tries to rewrite that in real time on live television, you're not watching debate, you're watching damage control. And honestly, Piers saw it. That's why he snapped.
All right, Katie Nicholl, let me bring you back in here. What is so febrile this scandal? And the thing for the royals that's so difficult, they don't know what's left in these files to come out. They don't know how bad this could still get, even from this terrible position they're now in. It could get a lot worse. Almost every day brings new revelations. The revelation this morning that Andrew was leaking his secret information as a trade envoy for Britain to a convicted paedophile, that alone is unbelievably damaging to the reputation of the royal family. It's an act of treachery.
Well, it is, and we've all seen how it's ended up for Mandelstam, and I'm afraid that Andrew is not exempt for that. These are, as you say, new allegations. They've only surfaced today. As we know from the statement, which I think is broken while we've been on air out of Buckingham Palace, we know that the King, the Queen, all members of the royal family will cooperate with Thames Valley Police as and when they need to. The royal family, as I said earlier, are in a very, very difficult position. I think almost a position like the rest of us. They have to wait and see what's going to happen next. Is Andrew going to go over to the States and voluntarily testify? Of course he's not. If the Met open up this investigation, then he will have to answer questions. And I think most people feel that that's exactly what he needs to do. But perhaps first, the statement that needs to come is from Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, from Sandringham, expressing some empathy for those victims. There is such a gaping hole in all of this, and that he's left that to other members of his family to do. He should absolutely be doing that. And I'm quite astonished by some of the things that Lady Victoria has said on air. I have to say, I think all of our feelings and empathy need to be with those girls. When you hear how young they were, it's truly terrible.
I'm
Piers,
afraid Victoria
I just thought of something else I would just like to put out there, because, being in my position, I have been in a position where I have been able to be vocal, and that means that I've had a lot of people reaching out to me with information. A couple of months ago, I had a British girl reach out to me, and she said that her and her friends met Jeffrey Epstein in Virginia the weekend of March 10th, 2001, at the Dorchester Hotel. Virginia lured them to Jeffrey's hotel, she made the girls lie and say that they were 18 years old. One was 13, one was 14. They actually signed NDAs with Virginia, and David Boies paid them off. Now, they're too scared to come out.
Well, unless you've got evidence for any of that, I'm not going to allow you to spew any cock and bull conspiracy theory that has come to your mind.
Once David Boies, it might take to the point where he passes away, and then I feel like the floodgates will open, and all these people...
You know what? David Boies might well sue you. David Boies might well sue you over what you've just said.
Well,
it's a very serious defamation.
These girls are in touch with the Metropolitan Police. So what I want to tell you is I'm very much in touch with the police, literally on WhatsApp, and they know a lot of information that you guys are not privy to. But
do you know what, Victoria? With the greatest respect, I think you talk utter shit.
All right.
And I'm sorry. I've known you a long time. I think you've disappeared down a conspiracy rabbit hole that is frankly repulsive.
I've always been right about my conspiracies. You were wrong about COVID and you were wrong about the vaccine.
You don't give a damn about these girls. You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's shameful.
Why would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting the scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial for reasons that completely...
This is the moment everything shifts, because now it's not just disagreement, it's exposure. When Piers says, you don't give a damn about these girls, that hits differently. That's not political, that's moral. Notice what happens when she's pressed for evidence. It becomes, people messaged me. It becomes, I'm on WhatsApp with police. It becomes vague claims and big accusations with zero receipts. That's not journalism. That's reckless. And the most telling part, the obsession with protecting powerful men while casting doubt on vulnerable victims. That tells you everything you need to know.
Can we talk about the quality of girls? So Anushka Georgiou as an example, you know what she did? Like, this is the caliber of person we're talking about. Anushka Georgiou...
Actually, I'm not going to let you smear them. I'm sorry, I'm not.
She was the girl that set up Tom Parker
No, I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
sorry,
she did it. She did that whole story.
I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you smear these victims anymore. I'm just not going to let you do it. Just cut her off. Ollie...
Let's call this what it is. This wasn't just a debate, this was a public unraveling. Because when you reach the point where your defense strategy is to attack underage victims, you've already lost. You've morally lost. You've intellectually lost. And you've publicly embarrassed yourself. And here's the uncomfortable truth. There are always people like this. People who orbit power. People who protect status. People who think proximity to royalty or wealth somehow rewrites reality. It doesn't. The facts are ugly. The documents are ugly, the convictions are ugly, and instead of confronting that ugliness, she tried to sanitize it, minimize it, reframe it, not trafficking, no clients, conspiracy, over and over again. But here's the problem. When you dismiss victims, when you mock them, when you question their quality, you're not just defending one man, you're sending a message. And that message is that power matters more than pain. That's why Piers snapped. Not because it was dramatic, not because it makes good TV, but because there's a line. And she crossed it. You can debate politics, you can debate institutions, but when it comes to exploited minors, that's not a grey area, that's black and white. And if you're still defending the indefensible at this point, maybe it's not the media that's confused. Maybe it's you. What do you think? Was Piers justified in shutting her down like that, or did he go too far? Drop your thoughts below. I genuinely want to know where you stand on this one.